Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press Morning Podcast for May 23rd, 2025. We're starting the day with a rundown of the top stories making headlines. First up, the international community is grappling with a crisis in Gaza, where Western governments are facing pressure to take meaningful actions against human rights abuses. The UK government has announced plans to review its arms export policy to Israel, but many are calling for more drastic measures, including an immediate suspension of all arms exports and recognition of Palestine as a state. In other news, Elon Musk's business empire is facing an unprecedented backlash due to his close association with former President Donald Trump. Tesla sales have plummeted, and the company's reputation has taken a significant hit. As Musk tries to distance himself from the controversy, experts are weighing in on the potential implications for his companies. And finally, the House of Representatives has passed a sweeping tax bill that promises to reshape the nation's fiscal landscape. The legislation includes provisions such as raising the state and local tax deduction cap and introducing new work requirements for Medicaid recipients. As the bill heads to the Senate, lawmakers are bracing for a potentially contentious debate, with critics arguing that the legislation favors special interests and could exacerbate income inequality. That's all for now. We'll be diving deeper into these stories throughout the day. So now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Good morning, I'm Barbara. Here's a brief summary of the top stories we're following today. We begin with the deteriorating situation in Gaza, where reports of widespread malnutrition, hunger, and starvation-related deaths are on a rise due to the Israeli blockade. The international community is urging all sides to work towards a peaceful resolution, but it's clear that this will be a challenging and delicate process. In related news, the recent shooting of 2 Israeli embassy staffers in Washington has sparked outrage and concern about rising anti-Semitism. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has linked this incident to the increasingly hostile climate facing Israel over the war in Gaza. The Trump administration has announced plans to ramp up its crackdown on anti-Semitism in the wake of the Washington shooting, an effort to address the rising tide of hatred and intolerance that has been linked to the conflict in Gaza. We'll continue to provide updates on these developing stories as more information becomes available. Our team of expert journalists and correspondents will bring you in-depth analysis and diverse perspectives, ensuring that our coverage is comprehensive and fair. That's all for now. We'll be back with more news after the break. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, Goldman Sachs has acquired a substantial stake in TD Power Systems, a small-cap company based in Bengaluru, through a block deal. This investment is noteworthy, as it underscores Goldman Sachs' confidence in the company's growth potential. In other news, global economic developments have been making headlines as world leaders engage in diplomatic efforts to address pressing issues. U.S. President Donald Trump is set to attend the G7 Leaders Summit in Canada, and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has held a call with President Trump to discuss the ongoing issue of steel and aluminum tariffs imposed by the U.S. Lastly, despite trade tensions and economic uncertainty, Mexico's economy has shown resilience, with foreign direct investment rising to $4.4 billion in the first quarter. Experts believe that diplomacy and international cooperation will play a vital role in shaping the future of the global economy. That's all for now. We'll be back with more news and updates after this break. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and we'll see you again soon. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, NASA astronaut Anne McClain will be answering questions from students in Washington State as part of NASA's STEM education efforts. This event is a great opportunity for youngsters to learn about space exploration and get inspired by McClain's experiences on the International Space Station. In other news, the Subaru telescope is set to debut its insect-like compound eye in February. We'll be keeping an eye on this development and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. Lastly, the Pentagon has expressed dissatisfaction with United Launch Alliance over delays in the development of its Vulcan rocket. The delays have resulted in a reliance on SpaceX for critical satellite launches, and it's essential that all parties work together to address these issues and meet the needs of national security missions. That's all for today's podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow with more updates from the world of space exploration. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. First, we've been following the debate over whether the 2023 Philadelphia Eagles are among the top 5 teams in NFL history. While their championship run was impressive, our analysis suggests they're more likely to fall within the top 10 to top 15 range when considering factors like era, competition, and roster strength. In other news, we're seeing intense quarterback battles unfold at several top college football programs, including Georgia, North Carolina, Colorado, and Oregon. These competitions will have a significant impact on the team's fortunes this season, with talented players vying for the starting signal caller spot. Lastly, we touched on the Eagles' own claim to fame, as well as the NFL's upcoming documentary series highlighting the greatest teams in league history. We invite our listeners to share their thoughts on these topics and join the conversation. That's all for now from the world of sports. Stay informed and keep up with the latest news from around the globe. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curel.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we explored an inspiring tale of innovation in rural America, highlighting the importance of community spirit and ingenuity. Unfortunately, we had to shift our focus to a more solemn topic, reporting on a recent execution by lethal injection in the United States, which sparked crucial discussions about domestic violence, capital punishment, and human rights. In our most recent edition, we delved into a groundbreaking scientific discovery about a massive boulder in Tonga, known as Makalahi, which was carried up a cliff by a tsunami thousands of years ago. This remarkable finding has significant implications for understanding coastal hazards and tsunami dynamics, reminding us of the awe-inspiring power of nature. These stories showcase the diversity of topics we cover on the AIDailyPress, from inspiring tales of innovation to thought-provoking discussions about justice and morality, and fascinating scientific discoveries that help us better understand our world. Thank you for joining us, and we'll continue to bring you engaging stories that touch the heart and inform the mind. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Now, for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. Today we're serving up a delicious blend of music news, with a side of sass and expertise, of course. First off, let's talk about the fascinating world of superfans and their impact on the music industry. Our recent article delved into the passion economy, where devoted fans are taking center stage and shaping the music landscape. It's an exciting time for artists and fans alike, as the industry relinquishes some control and lets these passionate creators do their thing. Next up, we had a candid conversation with legendary guitarist Steve Stevens about his 40-year partnership with rock icon Billy Idol. With a new album on the horizon, Stevens shared insights into their collaborative process, the secrets behind their enduring success, and the stories that have shaped their journey. It's a must-listen for any music lover. And finally, we're celebrating a major milestone in the music world. Thai singer and actress Lalisa Manaban, aka Lisa. This talented singer and rapper is proving to be a force to be reckoned with, and we can't wait to see what she does next. That's all for today, folks. Stay fabulous, and we'll see you tomorrow. And remember, as I always say, please, let's give it up for these talented artists making waves in the music industry. Now, for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, a recent report warns of the alarming decline of vulture populations worldwide, with nearly all Old World vulture species and 2 out of 7 new world vulture species listed as threatened or near threatened with extinction. Vultures play a crucial role in maintaining ecosystem balance, and their loss could have significant economic and health implications. In a more positive note, a pioneering project in Panama is demonstrating the power of community-driven conservation. By working together with scientists, local communities, and indigenous groups, this initiative is not only restoring forests, but also fostering cooperation, education, and sustainable livelihoods. The project's emphasis on two-way knowledge exchange and economic empowerment is a beacon of hope for sustainable practices. Lastly, a new study highlights the devastating impact of biodiversity loss, with vultures being just one example of the many species under threat. The report emphasizes the need for immediate action to protect these critical ecosystem engineers and the ecosystems they inhabit. These stories remind us that conservation is not just about protecting species, but also about empowering communities, preserving traditional knowledge, and promoting sustainable practices. As we move forward, it's essential to continue telling these stories of hope and resilience, inspiring further action towards a more sustainable future for all. That's all for today's podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates from the world of conservation and science. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David at Nature for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.